Here's Johnny.
Take your stinking paws off me.
Be cool. Be cool.
You fools! You're in danger! He's alive! He's alive! Wait, 21 gigawatts! Hallelujah! Holy shit! You believe this?
Jack, Bert, me.
We're pretty good to run, girly boy. Stop it!
What's up, you blood-sucking bastards, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, Jay Schatzer, and today it is another collection update. I've been gone for just a little bit. Well, it feels like a long time for me because I was deathly sick with the flu, throwing up all over the place, looked like the Exorcist or something. But I'm pretty much back to normal, feeling good, just a little bit of a headache. But I want to keep these collection videos going, so let's dive right into this next one where I'm going to be focusing on a big chunk of my vampire film collection. So there's a lot of oddities in here, just all over the place, from comedies to straight up horrors and just everything in between. So let's just jump right in and see what we got. Up first is a fun one, an especially fun one. It's a blaxploitation kind of flavored flick. It is a double feature on Blu-ray, Blackula and Scream, Blackula, Scream. Just a fun double feature. Scream put this one out, and it is just all kinds of fun. I love both films. Can't remember, I think I reviewed both of them, but yeah, Blackula, the original, just totally fun, totally badass. And the follow-up is just as good as the original. They add Pam Grier into the mix with the sequel, but it's just all kinds of fun. And yeah, if you're into blaxploitation flicks of the 70s and you want a little bit of a horror tinge to it, check these ones out for sure. Really great stuff. Yeah, William Marshall is fantastic as the central figure, Blackula. And yeah, it's great. It's not as silly as you would think. Surprisingly, it's really thought out. It's got almost like a Hammer horror feel to it in parts, but then it's got really weird situations and then some really haunting imagery to actually mix things up and make it just a great combination. That's mostly saying for the first one, but the second one, it carries over that style of the original. But definitely check out Blackula and the sequel, Scream, Blackula, Scream. Just a great pairing of films and one hell of a double feature. Definitely pick up this Scream Factory release. Badass, and it was a good upgrade to my DVDs that I got years ago. But let's keep moving on because we got plenty to go through. Next up is a classic, a cult classic that a lot of people in the community talk about, but outside of it, nobody really says much about Near Dark. Boom! Just a classic, like I said. Catherine Bigelow, I believe, is the director. Yep, Catherine Bigelow does an amazing job. This cover is horrible. It looks like Twilight or something like that, but the actual movie is gritty as all hell. Bloody in parts, just a hell of a dangerous, tongue-in-cheek kind of comedic tone to it in parts. Just badass altogether. Really, if you haven't seen this film, definitely check it out. Do not let the cover fool you. It is not a romantic Twilight movie where the vampires glow, and it's a really cool story about a young kid who meets this girl late at night, and she ends up biting him, turning him into a vampire, and he has to be forced into their kind of cult of vampires, and he doesn't want anything to do with it, so he keeps trying to escape. But it's really cool. Great cast. Lance Hendricks is in it. Sorry, my throat's a little still messed up. And we've got also Bill Paxton plays an amazing vampire. I believe his name is Severin. But yeah, it's just a cool film altogether. Definitely check it out. Great having Catherine Bigelow does a great job in it, directing the film. It's just got a really cool style to it. A lot of Alien kind of reunion people. There are a lot of people from Aliens, yeah, from Aliens. So a lot of James Cameron kind of alumni show up in this film. Great stuff. Definitely check that out if that sounds interesting to you. But let's move along to a film that I recently picked up. Watched a little bit of it. I still have to finish it. Kind of fell asleep because it was one of those nights where I just wasn't in the mood to watch movies, but was forcing myself to get through it just so I could see something new because I haven't seen it before. But that is Fangs of the Living Dead. And it's an Amon Desario flick. The guy who directed the Tombs of the Blind Dead series, and just a really great Spanish director in general. For this one, for the most part, what I've seen is it's pretty much just what you would expect. A lot of gothic style and a lot of sexy women on the screen. But yeah, it's one I'm gonna have to complete my viewing just to get a better grasp of it. Recently picked it up. It was on a Screen Factory release, and it was cheaper than it was usually going for, and I have to just kind of round out my Armando Desario flicks, so I just grabbed this one, and I am not disappointed so far. I mean, not his most effective or exciting film, but definitely has a style to it, and a beautiful cast to look at, and what else do I need other than that? But Fangs of the Living Dead, yeah, I will have to keep viewing and see what I think. But moving on is to a film that I just recently bought too, and never heard of it in my life, and saw somebody post on Facebook. I can't remember what page I'm a fan of. It could be I don't even know. Maybe just one of the horror-related ones. But somebody suggested that this movie went up and was being sold at some kind of mom-and-pop's store for a good price. It was a Code Red release of a Blu-ray that nobody... I mean, all of Code Red's releases come and go like a fart in the wind. You don't even notice it, and then they go out of print and they jack up in price. But this one was at a pretty decent price. The Vampire's Night Orgy. Never ever heard of this film ever, but when I saw that when somebody posted it, I looked at the trailer. I was like, damn, and read about the story. I was like, this sounds pretty damn cool, right up my alley. It's got a lot of actors that I love. Believe it's a Spanish film, and it's just something that really intrigued me. So grabbed it. Came in the mail, watched it, and I loved it. It's definitely, if I didn't know any better, it was almost like it could have been an Armando Desario film. It's really got a lot of cast members that he pulls from his other movies, and it's just the whole general vibe and location, story, everything just screams Armando Desario. But it was directed by Leon Klimovsky. Name looks familiar, so I don't know if I've seen any of his other films, but the Vampire's Night Orgy is one hell of a fun and entertaining flick. So yeah, if you haven't heard of it before, definitely check it out. The release is pretty badass too. I like the quality of the transfer. Looked really good. No complaints in that department. But yeah, I mean, the only memorable, or the kind of memorable characters in this are Helga Line, who plays kind of like a vampire queen, and Jack Taylor, who's in a lot of Armando Desario's flicks. But it's just pretty much about a group of people traveling through the countryside in, I don't even know what country they say. Some kind of like, I don't know. Some small village they run into, and it's filled with people that are vampires. So they pretty much have to fight their way out and find a way to escape these crazy people. It's kind of an interesting story. Really cool locations, great visuals, damn good cast. So definitely hunt down this Spanish film because it was a good surprise. It's nice to creep up on these kind of rare films that you've never seen before, because just to know that there's stuff out there that you can unveil and find new experiences in film out there.